Hey, welcome, Bob Wilson, Lean Team. We're talking about our 6 lean principles. We're finally on to principle number 6. So, what have we talked about so far? We've talked about customer centricity, understanding who your customer is, what they're looking for from you in terms of the value you provide, internal and external customers. Also, we've talked about flow, how smoothly you can get through a process, how trouble-free without having rework, defects, loopbacks, confusion, things like that going on. So having a nice smooth flow. Tact, also being nice, but also having the timing element understood. What's the timing, the cadence, sequence of things that are going on. Pull. Pull principle is that just in time, getting the element, getting the work delivered when the customer is ready for it, not producing it ahead or when there's no demand for it. Looked at perfection, understanding what the customer is looking for and delivering to that, and always striving to hit that target, not only in terms of the output, but also in terms of the process of getting there, so that you're repeatable, so that you can continue to be successful. So we're on to the 6th principle, which is continuous improvement. That's what we're striving for here. All right. So when we talk about continuous improvement, got to have our little drawing here. So what we're looking for is when we talk about continuous improvement, then what we're talking about is what is our process for always getting better. So how do we move up that path from where we are to where we want to be? And there we go. Didn't have eyes or a mouth. So that's our lean shorts guy. Have not gotten any suggestions on names for him yet. Maybe we'll call him Leaner. Maybe not. That might not work so well. But so if you got suggestions, let us know. We'll take a vote. So continuous improvement. That is, how do we learn from where we've been? How do we plan going forward? Within Lean, we use some certain different tools like Hoshinkanri, which is policy deployment or strategic planning, however you want to say that. Also, then there's different methodologies out there. So Kaizen, continuous improvement, focusing on the plan, do, check, act cycle, and using other tools like lessons learned. How do we reflect upon what we just went through within a process? How often do we do that? What's the structure for doing those things? So when we talk about continuous improvement, what we're looking at is how do we go back and what are we going to do different this time? Whether things went really well or whether they went not so well. We want to understand those things, and we want to keep tweaking it out, getting a little bit better each time, and is everyone in the organization involved with this? So, we don't want this to be just a select few. We want everyone doing this, because if everyone's taking little steps in the right direction, over time that adds up to be a lot of big steps and makes a huge improvement. So we've talked about the 6 principles. If you got any questions about those, please contact me, email me, or contact the team. We'll be happy to work with you and discuss some more of the tools that can help you deliver these. And remember, as you go through the process, anytime you're sitting in a meeting or thinking about issues and you're not quite sure where to start, just ask some questions around whether or not we have all of these principles in place for the project, the process that you're working on. So, do you know who the customer is? Internally, externally, why is it valuable that you're doing this work? If it's not, then maybe you don't need to be doing it. So identify your customer. Find out who it is, what they're looking for. Then how smoothly can you go through this? If it's not very smooth, maybe the process isn't well defined. You need to get a standard in place. Ask, do we have flow? Okay, so that's where you want to ask those questions. Then what's the timing element? So what is the tact? What's the cadence? When do we know that we're ahead or behind in terms of our deliverable to our customers? So we want to understand that. In terms of pull, are we aligned with our customer, our next in line process? And also, do we have visibility, transparency into the other people that are working along on the same thing, so that if they get off track or ahead or behind too much, that is going to impact what we're doing, we got a flag on the field that says, hey, something's going on here, we need to reevaluate. So understanding that timing element, The pull element, making sure that we're delivering when it's expected. How many times do you hear within a project that they say, I'm waiting on something? So that's a problem. So perfection, make sure we understand our customer's expectation, and then continuous improvement. What are we doing to get better? Okay, appreciate your time. Thanks for stopping by.